Breaking news, my wonderful people. Please hear what Daddy has got to say. Daddy E.A. Adeboye says, Nigeria at 62, don't let anybody deceive you. Okay, governors, kings, don't feel safe despite security guards. The country is at war. It's not safe. Nigeria at 62 and you think, everything is well. My dear, we need more. And that's why Nigerians must hold government to accountability. A government you cannot hold accountable, please don't vote for such an individual. Somebody that will become, that will get into government and all of a sudden the person will turn his back on you or travel abroad for his medical attention and you'll be left hang and drying and there are major decisions to be taken. If somebody can leave you at the break of his campaign and telling you that there is no need, you should wait, you think that Nigerians should become very weary, and the country currently is at war with itself because we cannot continue like this. Governors, kings don't feel safe despite the security guard that those ones they have. Then what about who does not have security guard? You see, let's get all the details. Let's understand what exactly is going on here. The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, people are supposed to be having security agencies but are not safe. The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has expressed concern over Nigerian security situation, saying that things have gone from bad to worse. Speaking at the headquarters of the church in Lagos during the first Sunday and Independence Day sermon, Pastor Adeboye said that while growing up, it was very difficult for people to go close to where the kings resides. But things have changed as kidnappers now go to the palace and kidnap kings. A whole nation can be in a storm if a governor cannot go to a farm and feel safe, despite the security agencies. He has to thank God that he returned safely, despite the bodyguard, for what matter. A governor, this is terrible. When we talk about security, the governor should be secured. When a governor alerts such a statement, then you know the situations we are in. Nigeria is currently in a terrible one. As young as I am, I remember a time when the king was coming. Unless you are one of the very special people, you have to move out of the way. But things are different now. Kidnappers can go to the palace and even kidnap the king. They don't let anyone deceive you. We are at war in this country. That is the truth. He said that the atrocities in the land may continue until people turn back to God and pray for God's reign over the land. Speaking on the topic of perfect peace in the land, Adeboye stated that Almighty God can do that the Almighty God can do what security officers cannot do. He said in his words that if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear from heaven, I will forgive them their sin, and I will heal the land. We all need to turn to the Lord even now if we want safety and we want this nation to become a place that is secured for us all. Nigerians must begin to understand that if we must get that which we desire, the nation, the people must begin to change and they must turn to God. Look to God as the only source, the only one who could make a possible change in our lives. If we don't do that now, we will be surprised because what man cannot do, only God can do. He asks Nigerians to pray for the leaders of the land to experience peace. It is easy to blame our leaders, but there are certain things we need to do as good citizens. For every mistake by being made will also affect us and will suffer for it. So the best thing for us all to do is also pray for these people. Why are we not enjoying a nation that is ours? Because we refuse to do our duty. We need to pray for them. If we say the wicked are ruling, why not pray for God to touch their hearts? We should pray that God should lead our leaders right. He prayed for every family passing through difficulty, that God will send them perfect peace even at this very trying time. So this is what is going on. Honestly, we need to pray for our leaders because the state of the nation is appalling. It's unimaginable things that are going on. The state of nation is beyond you can truly sincerely imagine. Okay, what we never envisage are the things that we are experiencing as a nation and as a people. Because right about now, people you never thought of, the things you never envisage are the things that are currently happening. Why? Because the people, the nation, they've refused to turn to God. You heard Pastor Adeboye, he said if Nigerians will turn to God, you will see that things will become quite different. You will see that things will become changed, and it could be better. Okay, it could be better. So what's your take? Because the word, they say, is enough for the wise. Are we wise to ensure that we take the word for what it is? Are we wise enough to ensure that we are rising up to the occasion and we're not leaving ourselves to chance? Are we wise enough to know that, what we ought to do, we are doing it because there is a part for us to play? You cannot leave your part, the part you ought to be fulfilling, and focus on another person's part and begin to blame the person when you have a part to fulfill or a part to play. You leave that and you leave your own part and you turn to others and begin to accuse somebody else. What about the part you ought to play? And what have you done about it? The part you ought to play, what have you done about it? So that's the question. That's the question we really need to ask ourselves. You have a part to play. You have not fulfilled your part, yet you are blaming others. You see, the part you have to play, you have not fulfilled it. You are blaming others. So it is what it is. And if we want, if we want truth to become if we want to harness the harvest of truth and want to ensure that our nation is changed and transformed, then every one of us must rise up to the occasion and do not allow the same people all over and over again to declare our judgment and tell us what to do and, begin to lead the nation in the most horrific way. If the nation is to change, you and I have got a duty in those regards, in those lines. And part of what we have to do is to arise and to ensure that we do not allow the same thing all over and over again. Nigerians, we are at the valley of decision now. And one of the things we ought to do is that every one of us must arise to the occasion. Every one of us must begin to do that which is right and necessary. Every one of us must arise. Okay, let's not allow these things to continue. Leave us a comment. Don't forget to like us, share, subscribe. God bless. Bye for now.